Ethereum fork. We were led to believe it was created to counter the Ethereum gas fees, because even paying just a few dollars for a transaction was not right. Well, it looks like Pulse Chain is not right. Or is it? More on that in just a second. What is going on with the Pulse Chain blockchain? Everything was running smooth as silk. Just like the testnet, everything was going great. Transactions were 0.02 to 0.1 pulse most times. And then all of a sudden, there was a vampire sucking project called Zen that killed the blockchain. Now, could this be a good thing, or could this be the devastating and to send Bitcoin at one point? Okay, now it's back down to $5, around there. Ethereum was up to as high as $30 to $40 to send Ethereum. To do a Uniswap transaction, $70 to $80. It's back down to about $10 to do Uniswap, $3 or $4 to send Ethereum. Okay, so can Pulse come back down to at least, from the testnet, I wasn't paying more than half a pulse per transaction normally. Okay, and the fact that they didn't test this out, how could you not know that Zen was going to launch on Pulse Chain and do this? Didn't you test that on the testnet? Didn't you create your own Zen clone on the testnet to test this out? I thought they did all that, and it looks like they didn't. Or he purposely knew this would happen, and who even knows? Jack and Richard could be working together for this purpose. That's kind of crazy out there theory, but you never know in crypto. And what would be the reason? Well, the reason would be to just burn a bunch of pulse and to price people out of the market in the beginning while you're setting everything up. Okay, and I don't know, it could be a diabolical plan, it could be just incompetence from coding the blockchain. Who knows? But so far, Pulse has failed its first major test. Its first test.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great weekend. So, interesting title for the video today. The Pulse Chain Conspiracy, right? So this is very interesting. This was a video I stumbled upon by, in the beginning intro by a channel called Creative Crypto, where I thought his video was excellent, right? I love to see various opinions about the Pulse project and such. But I definitely encourage you all to watch that video. I want to just comment on some of the things he said, because this scenario did play through my head a bit, and I think it's played through many of our heads. And this kind of just drove it home for me that was a very interesting theory, right? Just a theory, just a conspiracy theory, if you want to call it that, but it's something to think about nevertheless. But I also want to just respond to some of the comments we got about, yesterday, with so much that's been going on since the launch of the Pulse Chain. Obviously, a lot of time from people invested, a lot of money invested, a lot of concerns and emotions invested with some people, and that's understandable. Where everybody's coming from, throughout trying to figure out what exactly is going to happen with this blockchain. So let's talk about these things today. Should be an interesting video. Also want to talk about the great Nobel Prize winning, in my opinion, Bitcoin MYK project release of its inflation token that will be live in probably the next 48 hours or maybe a little less. And that's going to be very exciting and a good situation for you all. So let's talk about it. So just looking at what some people are thinking. Who is this Olivia? It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see. So something's telling me that I'm kind of skeptical. Is that Olivia's real picture? That looks like a stock picture. So I don't even know if that's a real person. It could be a bot. Cool channel. Thank you, Small Bunny. Thanks to get some appreciation. Our channel, we don't have that many subscribers. Although we were the first. I think we were the first YouTube channel to talk about hex. We're the original hexagon, I guess you could say. We're like the first hexagon that some people believe has fallen away. And so I'm glad that some people like our content. We don't expect to get a lot of viewers, mainly because I didn't want another job. So my hat's off to all the YouTubers out there who produce the type of content you want, edit videos for 8 hours a day, and no taking that away from them. I think they deserve all of that. But I'm glad that we have these very mindful people who like content like this, because crypto can be very tribal. It's a very agenda based place. It's not like standard investing, like what you get in your stock markets and stuff, where people are making the best investments based on just the investments being a good idea, them being good. This is more of a rhetoric or driven culture where people feel it's important to pump their bags by just saying positive things about a project all the time, and they kind of just go to these channels where the people just hype them up, and then things like this happen, and a lot of people don't know where to go. So it's a sigh of relief to see channels like Creative Crypto that dares to present a more contrarian view, a more balanced view, a more realistic view of people's concerns. So KBM says, why don't you do a live stream with a hexagon? He will explain everything. I think I replied to him. Let's see what I said to him. I'm just going to read what I said. I'm the first hexagon. They know like the fees going super higher than this. Richard already concluded that years ago. The tragedy of the commons. How are we factored years, not minutes? So basically what KBM is alluding to is he obviously thinks I'm a newbie in the space or something like that. And what he's getting to is he's getting to the validators when the blocks fill up, how it's congesting the network, and posts that's lacking the validators, and I'll get to that in a second, but they're lacking a validator. So what's happening is that's what's causing the prices to go up, right? Because like in any market where you don't have enough of people covering the transactions or markets, or to create what we deem competitive pricing, what you're going to have is balloon prices, right? So basically, he's saying he's basically probably alluding to, this, after the first few days or weeks, this will turn around and the fees will settle down. But number one, he doesn't know that. If that's where he's going with it, he has no idea if that's the case or not. Because I don't think the prices are going to go down at all. I think they're going to keep going up, and they're doing it at such an accelerated rate that this chain is going to be more on par with the cost of Ethereum like it is now, which is going to pretty much defeat the entire purpose of it. But it's going to drive the price of this new coin up that just could have easily just been Hex going up, right? But that's what he's alluding to, and I think that's what he's hoping to happen. The other part, or the other issue, is that the validator, to be a validator, is 32 million posts, right? Now they're doing transactions that take 100,000 posts to to basically cover a transaction as a transaction fee, right? 32 million posts. Imagine how high that would be if posts is like 10 cents. If posts is a penny. That's how much it's going to cost you to be a validator, right? To even try to solve this problem. So as you can see, that's a problem in itself. Let's see here. Serge is saying wrong gas fees. I think Serge is more speaking in relation to what we're saying, that the math is wrong, the gas fees are too high. Um, Cryptoria says, then we do more folks. Simple, rich already. So they keep forking on and forking on and forking on. Okay, all right, but we were kind of we already had that problem solved. Then if you're gonna look at it like that, because then you had that problem solved with we go from Ethereum to the Matic and a variety of the other forks, right? The Ethereum forks, rather. And so, you kind of already done that. I don't really know if that would be the answer or not. Morgan Maniac says this dude is just a sour potato. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't think it's just. Well, to be honest, I have posts and post X, and I was like day one on the sacrifice. So try again, because the price of it going up is not going to hurt me, but it's going to hurt a lot of other people who can't participate. And in the long run, it will hurt the post ecosystem, but I'll be out long gone, cashed out, and pushing Bitcoin MYK of feeless transaction chain, and a project that should win a Nobel Prize in economics. And then Cryptoria says, first get your own coin up, sir. So we're on several chains, so I don't know what, or sorry, exchanges. I don't know exactly what Cryptoria is referring to. I think we might be on like 10 chains now. Um, I'm sorry, exchanges now. And the last 30 days, we were up over 1,000% in the last 30 days. Remember, this is a free coin, free transactions, and we're up we're up over 1,000% in 30 days. And just today, we're up like 300%, right? And there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm a pretty smart guy. I spent many, many years on Wall Street. I've been in the space a while. I understood cryptocurrency right off the bat. I was one of the first content influencers to talk about Hex. I caught Hex, Post Chain, Post X, all that. Doesn't really matter, because I have a very good judgment of when something's off, and I can tell you these are going to be some significant problems we got to deal with down the line. So getting back to this conspiracy with Zen, um, the problem with it from the very jump is also people who think these prices are going to come down and such, is that Zen is designed to be a blockchain disruptor. Now, unfortunately, it was turned loose on something that may or may not have needed it to be turned loose on, right? Depending on if somebody set this in motion, or if this is organized, or if this is just all accidental and incidental. Now, the thing is, I, I don't think they could have been that predictable that Jack Levin would make some of the moves against Richard Hart that he did, and some of the banter they did back and forth. I think if it was a total conspiracy, that banter would have been organized a little bit better. So I don't so much subscribe to is Jack and Richard working together, but I do subscribe to is Jack going to destroy all of these chains and make Zen the number one chain. And he's succeeding at doing that by making these chains unusable. I don't think he's going to stop that. I don't think the Zen community is going to stop that. The Zen community is just as big as the post-chain community. So why would they stop doing that, right? Why would they stop minting Zen? Probably not going to happen, right? So I don't think that's going to solve that problem. And again, watch the Crypto Creative channel, because his theory goes into great detail about why they would want to do a conspiracy like this. And I didn't want to go above fair use and use up too much of his videos. But I thought he did a good job on that, so I didn't want to want to go in that area again. I would much rather you just look at that, because I want to talk about some other things along with the Zen conspiracy, and that is the Bitcoin MYK inflation token, our project. That's the free transactions, the free wallets as well, free wallets, free transactions, free money, which is the big thing that we're going to talk about next. Every month, we're going to explain to you exactly how it works. All right, guys, I took some notes here. So in about 24 to 48 hours, the Bitcoin MYK inflation token should go live, right? So let's quickly sum it up. Why I keep pushing this? Why I think this is an awesome idea. Why I think these are Nobel Prize winning ideas and projects that we're going to look back at these other blockchains like Ethereum, even Bitcoin, and look at what's happening with the Bitcoin MYK project. And we're going to say, wow, that all those other things made no sense. We should have been doing this, right? But we're doing it now. So we've got to the promised land here. So let's talk a little bit about the Bitcoin MYK inflation token, right? And I can't explain the whole project in minutes because it has many moving parts. And because I want to do it just to get into the details, we would actually subscribe to the channel so that you can get the full scope of it, right? And look at many of the videos about it. But basically, what the Bitcoin MYK inflation token is doing, right? And I'm just going to briefly read the 3-part coin ecosystem. The Bitcoin MYK native token, right, acts more like gold, only 5 million of them, right? It has the promotional value. The way the platform is made is it has an algorithm that you basically mine by your social media activity, right? Okay, I'm going to just set that to the side for a second. Then you have the Bitcoin MYK backed dollar, which is more of the stable dollar. You're receiving and you're spending, and your merchants are going to use it, and so on. And then you have the Bitcoin MYK inflation token, right? That basically creates something called the citizens dividend, right? This is going to motivate and incentivize the entire world to come on our network, right? And how it's going to work is 10% of the network annual inflation rate is going to pay into the Bitcoin MYK inflation token, and it's going to issue everyone on the network $1,000 worth of the cryptocurrency. Remember, this is inflation, so what it means is that these tokens will have an unlimited supply. They won't be like the other coins of the ecosystem, Bitcoin MYK and the Bitcoin MYK backed dollar. So each and every one of you is going to get $1,000 per month just for using the network, point blank. And everybody's going to get the same thing, pretty much, right? It's going to be fair to everyone. There's going to be no such thing as not being fair and so on, right? And a lot of people will say, that already seems impossible that everybody could receive $1,000 per month in a citizen's dividend, right? Now, all the other parts are going to be there with the other two coins, right? The people who want to see prices go up, the Bitcoin MYK is going to all be tied to this. Think of them as the same coin split into 3 coins, right? Pretty much the same coin, but having the ability to create, to do different separate things. So the Bitcoin MYK token, only 5 million, will be able to go up in value. People like to see prices go up. The Bitcoin MYK backed dollar will perform a more stable function for commerce and trade. And the inflation token will supply every member a monthly citizens dividend to combat ChatGPT, to combat the inflation, automation, job displacement and such, right? So this is going to incentivize everybody in the world to be a part of it. And it does that on a feeless chain. No more overpriced Ethereum, gas fees, post-chain, none of that. All of that goes out the window. And I'm not going to use this video to talk about the technology and how we achieve this and what blockchains allow us to do this and such. I'm not going to do that in this video. Again, subscribe to the channel or ask questions and we can take it along because it'll run on too long, right? But I will tell you it's possible because people thought that a free cryptocurrency we created using the proof participation model, and that's not taken from Zen. We were first with that that algorithmic system. We created it ourselves that can distribute and distinguish between your content on social media, your posting, your presence, and so on, right? And you effectively become the miner decentralizing this network, right? And you could do that for free. It doesn't cost you anything. But people didn't think the cryptocurrency would have any value. It's kind of similar to saying Zen at lunch because you could just mint this on and on and on, that nobody would buy it. It would have no value. Well, the same thing happened with Bitcoin MYK already. You know, it went up 1,000% the last 30 days, over 300% today. And it did it because of something called Metcalfe's Law. Whereas free does, in theory, seem like zero, right? Nothing has value. The reality of it is free still signifies a large majority. So, in other words, water being free, right, means, or air being, water, air, being free, it would make Earth in a galaxy where Earth only had oxygen, it would make it very valuable, right? Where humans could live. And it's the same thing with a free network. Everybody's still there because this thing is free, right? It doesn't cost them anything, right? But it has some use to them. So if it has some use to them and they're using it, much like social media platforms do, which how cryptocurrency integrates through social media, then there's still value there under Metcalfe's Law, right? Under growth and such. So we achieved that, right? And after being, working on Wall Street many years, I understand all of the not only just the legal language of it, but I understand on the technical side of it how blockchain technology works to put those together and help them work. Now, what a lot of people would say, what the naysayers would say, is something similar to what Vitalik Buterin said, and that was he said the same thing about Matic. He said because Matic had less people controlling the nodes, it was centralized. But here's the thing. Here's the problem. Whether you're looking at proof of work and you're trying to make that argument, if that is the case, if that is true, why do our blockchains have the worst areas of centralization and not only mining, but development, exchanges and wealth and geography, right? They still all have the worst ratios of decentralization, right? Bitcoin, 87% of the Bitcoin network is owned by only 1% of it, right? And you look at the other blockchains, they're along the same lines as bad. Do you know the only chains that start to balance out a little better than those? The delegated proof of stake chains, the ones where we can vote in our node producers and such, right? Their levels get a little bit better, right? Believe it or not. And they keep trying to make this argument, but it's just not what the data is bringing up. This is the same reason why Elon Musk is going around saying Dogecoin is better than Bitcoin because of the ownership. Even though Doge has bad ratio ownership, centralized wealth, centralized network control, even though it's bad, it's still better than Bitcoin, right? You're not going to fulfill the key major components of any form of decentralization without addressing that. What we've learned to do is take these more so delegated proof of stake models and expand on them with governance models to further decentralize them, right? And as we do this, what do we end up with? Free transactions, economic prosperity, even something like the Bitcoin inflation token where everybody's just going to get $1,000 per month, right? You're not going to have equipment. You're not going to have mental aptitude and so on and so forth. And all of this is provably possible. It's been done. We've already demonstrated it on many scales. And as we scale up, we feel, in fact, that it will be the same thing, unlike what's happening on what you're going to have with Pulse, Ethereum, and so on, right? So anyway, I love to engage with you all about this, but this is how it's going to have to go as I've explained it in other videos, guys. And that's about all I can say about that. Best thing you all can do. And I can't give this advice because the project's totally free. You know, if it was like, oh, invest in this or something, I would be like, do your own research, blah, 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 blah. But with this particular situation, just strictly from trying it out, getting your cryptocurrency free and using it, I can confidently say that it is a good move and you should try Bitcoin MYK today, right? I think it's going to be a great advantage to you. But this is the future, guys. This is what's going to deal with the automation problem and many other problems and solve the cryptocurrency problems in general. We're going to have to go this way. There's no way around it. That's all I want to say in this video. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.